जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव। गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदा तन व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय माधव जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Nitai Gaura Hariba, Haribal, Nitai Gaura Hariba. So we can start reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. Mataji, so can you please put on the verse 4.21.22, chapter, Canto 4, chapter 21, verse number 22. So today we are discussing, our subject topic is mainly about Prthu Maharaj, how he established himself as an ideal king. Yeah, so... yes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Aham Dandadhara Raja Prajanam Iha Yojita Rakshita Vrittidashveshu Sheteshu Sthapita Prithak. Aham Dandadhara Raja Prajanam Iha Yojita Rakshita Vrittidashveshu Sheteshu Sthapita Prithak. Aham Dandadhara Raja Prajanam Iha Yojita Rakshita Vrittidashveshu Sheteshu Sthapita Prithak.
Aham Dandadharo Raja.
Aham Dandadharo Raja.
Prajanam iha yojita.
Prajanam iha yojita.
Rakshita vrittidasheshu.
Rakshita vrittidasheshu.
Sheteshu sthapita prithak.
Sheteshu sthapita prithak. Mataji, you want to?
Aham Dandadharo Raja.
Aham Dandadharo Raja.
Prajanam iha yojita.
Prajanam iha yojita.
Rakshita vrittidasheshu.
Rakshita vrittidashveshu.
Seteshu sthapita prithak.
Sheteshu sthapita prithak. Shalin Mati, you want to read?
Aham Dandadharo Raja
Aham Dandadharo Raja
Prajanam Ihayajitaha
Prajanam Ihayojitaha
Rakshita Vrittida Seshu
Rakshita Vrittida Seshu
Shetushu Stapita Pritak
Shreteshu Sthapita Pritam Aham I Dandadhara carrier of the scepter, Raja, king, Prajanam, of the citizens, Iha, in this world, Yojitaha, engaged, Rakshita, protector, Vrittidaha, employer, Sheshu, in their own, Siteshu, respective social orders, Sthapita, established, Prithak, differently. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. King Prthu continued, by the grace of the Supreme Lord, I have been appointed the king of this planet, and I carry the scepter to rule the citizens, protect them from all danger, and give them employment according to their respective positions in the social order established by Vedic injunction. Purport. A king is supposed to be appointed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to look after the interests of his particular planet. On every planet, there is a predominating person, just as we now see that in every country there is a president. If one is president or king, it should be understood that this opportunity has been given to him by the Supreme Lord. According to the Vedic system, the king is considered a representative of Godhead and is offered respects by the citizens as God in the human form of life. Actually, according to Vedic information, the Supreme Lord maintains all living entities, and especially human beings, to elevate them to the highest perfection. After many births in lower species, when a living entity evolves to the human form of life, and in particular to the civilized human form of life, its societies must be divided into 4 gradations, as ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Bhagavad Gita, Chatur Varnam Maya Shrishtam, etc. The 4 social orders, the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras, are natural divisions of human society, and as declared by Prthu Maharaj, every man in his respective social order must have proper employment for his livelihood. It is the duty of the king or the government to ensure that the people observe the social order and that they are also employed in their respective occupational duties. In modern times, since the protection of the government or the king has been withdrawn, social order has practically collapsed. No one knows who is a Brahmana, who is a Kshatriya, who is a Vaishya, or who is a Shudra, and people claim to belong to a particular social order by birthright only. It is the duty of the government to re-establish social order in terms of occupational duties and the modes of material nature, for that will make the entire world population actually civilized. If it doesn't observe the institutional functions of the 4 social orders, human society is no better than animal society, in which there is never tranquility, peace and prosperity, but only chaos and confusion. Maharaj Prthu, as an ideal king, strictly observed the maintenance of the Vedic social order. Prajayate iti praja. The word praja refers to one who takes birth. Therefore, Prthu Maharaj guaranteed protection for Prajanam, all living entities who took birth in his kingdom. Praja refers not only to human beings, but also to animals, trees, and every other living entity. It is the duty of the king to give all living entities protection and food. The fools and rascals of modern society have no knowledge of the extent of the responsibility of the government. Animals are also citizens of the land in which they happen to be born, and they also have the right to continue their existence at the cost of the Supreme Lord. The disturbance of the animal population by wholesale slaughter produces a catastrophic future reaction for the butcher, his land, and his government. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manavisham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Sayang Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Padantikam Vandehaham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitang Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatapate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Mancha Kalpataribhyasya Kipa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Nama Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanandam Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Binda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukhaṁ karoti vācālam pangam langhayate girim yat kipatamaham bande Shri Guru tena taranam paramananda madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishram. So we can chant actually 3 more verses because we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. I think you already are chanting in your Bhagavatam reading. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tata Jayamudirayet Sinnatam Sakatha Krishna Punna Shravana Kirtana Hridyantastahi Avadrani Vidyunati Surit Satam Nashta Prayasya Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtiki Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuranam ki Jai. So the verse we read here, Shri Prthu Maharaj is describing the main duties of a king. And he is, he is very grateful to the Supreme Personality of Godhead to give them the opportunity to serve people in large extent, and he was the king of the whole universe. So we can actually what I want to do, because this story of Prthu Maharaj is quite long. It starts in the 4th canto when King Vena, who was the son of Anga, he was killed by the mantra of the sages, learned sages, because he was not a good king. Actually, this King Vena, who was the son of King Anga, he is like 7th or 8th descendant of Dhruva Maharaja. So Dhruva Maharaja, being a exalted devotee, we want to actually, want his lineage to be continued in the society. That's why, somehow or other, because his mother was not a pious lady, King Vena was not a good king. He was kind of atrocious, vicious to the subjects. So, he did not treat his subjects in a good manner. And the thing is that he stopped the devotional activities, especially the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, by which the people can, elevate to the higher planetary system or, higher level of consciousness. So he stopped that. And now actually, there is a very special story about his birth also. Like sometimes it is like said, like what you want, it's not always good for you. Something like that. So what happened, King Anga, he did not have any child. He was a very good king. He is like 6th or 7th descendant of Prthu Maharaj. So he was a very good king. All the subjects were very happy. But once he was performing a sacrifice, but no demigods were not accepting the ahuti, the oblations given to the sacrifice. They were not accepting that. And he was very disturbed, like, what is my fault? He was asking the sages, like, why people and demigods are not accepting my sacrifices. What is the issue? Then the sages said that in this lifetime you did not commit any sin, but in your previous lifetime you committed sins. So that's why you are aputrak, you don't have any son. And it is said, like, if you don't have a son and you are a grihastha, then your, like Chanakya Pandit says, like your life is like empty. Because through the son or through the descendant, you get the, like after you depart from this material body, they will give you oblation, they will perform sacrifices for you so that you can get a better body or better situation in your next life. So even that, if that cannot be performed, then it is really ill fortune. And for a king it is a must, because he is supposed to give the next king for the society, for the country. He need to get a son, a special son who can rule the kingdom. So what happened? He on the prescription of the sages, he performed a fire sacrifice. And from that fire sacrifice, a very effulgent personality came up, and he gave a special kind of sweet rice, sweet preparations to the king. So the king gave it to his wife Sunitha, and Sunitha took it, and in the course of time she became pregnant and gave birth to the son Vena. It is said in the Shastra that usually that sons, they take the characteristics of the maternal side, and daughters, they take paternal side mostly. So King Vena, unfortunately his maternal side was not good. His maternal grandfather was death personified, and Sunitha was his daughter. So what happened, when he got the characteristics of his maternal side, it was not good for the society. So in course of time, King Anga was very disturbed. When he was growing up, he was very disturbed and he was morose. He actually told, like, it's better to not to have a child rather than having a child like King Vena, like Vena. He was prince at that time, Prince Vena, because he was disturbing him and the whole society, so much so that he could not become peaceful, or could not rule his kingdom in a peaceful manner. So what he thought, so he was thinking, like, those people who are very fortunate, who don't have any son. So in Chanakya Niti Shastra it is said, like, in 4 situations, the very close relatives can be your enemy. Srila Prabhupada quotes in the purport that a father can be an enemy if he is burdened with lot of borrowed money. Like if he have borrowed lot of money from people, then he becomes a burden to the son, enemy to the son. Then mother can be an enemy if she gets married to a different person than your father. And wife can be an enemy if she is very beautiful. It's not my word, it's Chanakya Pandit is saying. And son can be an enemy if he is a very fool, rascal, stupid. He becomes a disturbance to the parents. So King Vena is like that, because he was stupid. Stupid in the sense he did not know what is the real duty of a king. And he is supposed to enthrone his father after his departure, because he was born in the royal family, and his father was the king, so he's supposed to be the king after him. Excuse me. So King Anga was very disturbed by his activities, and he thought to himself that I am really unfortunate to have a son like him. But in the next moment, he realized that actually it's a good thing for him, because if he has a very good son, then he will be very attached to his son, and for him to get rid of the attachment of the society, of the family relations, will be very difficult. But as his son is very disturbing, he can get rid of the disturbance of the attraction of the family very quickly. So he was thinking like that, and he took it as a blessing of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That Lord is very much merciful to me. That's why He has sent me a son who is helping me to get rid of the attachment of the familial relationship. And by thinking this, after a while, after some days, he left his kingdom and he became a Banprastha. So in the Bhagavatam it is explained that people, especially the subjects of the kingdom, they were looking for him. Like, where has he gone? Because they were disturbed in the absence of the king. And he was a very good king. So they are looking for him. But Bhagavatam, the analogy, the metaphor has been used like, sometimes the yogis, they look for Krishna without knowing where he can be found. Because Krishna is in the heart, but you are looking like, somewhere, and you are looking in a different, like a difficult strategy, which is very difficult to, in which it is very difficult to attain success. So the subjects of the kingdom are also like that. Even though he was present somewhere in the earth planet, but they could not find him because they were not expert in finding the knowledge or finding the person. So by that he left, and as soon as he left, the kingdom, the country, the world got disturbed. The earthly planet got disturbed because there was no king. So the rogues, so the thieves, the miscreants, they started disturbing the common people, and they were really in a dire situation. So seeing them disturbed and distressed, the sages, the guidance of the society, the intelligence of the society, they gathered together and they proposed to Mother Suniti to coronate King Vena Prince Vena as the king. But the ministers are in the courtiers of his kingdom, they actually objected. They told no, he is not qualified. He cannot be a king. He cannot run this country, earth planet nicely. Why you were thinking like that? But the sages insisted that there should be someone who can rule. And we can guide him, we can help him to, learn the art of ruling the kingdom. And they coronated him. And as soon as he became king, he was very proud, like a demon. Like demons are very proud of their opulences, their power. And we can read actually from maybe 14th chapter, verse 4, Mataji. Canto 4, 14th chapter, verse 4. There it describes, how tyrant he was. And what he was doing to the society. Actually, verse 3. Go to the 3. Previous one, just here. So translation, it says, you want to read the translation? Yeah. Translation, Mataji. Only translation.
It was already known that Vena was very severe and cruel. Therefore, as soon as all the thieves and rogues in the state heard of his ascendance to the royal throne, they became very much afraid of him. Indeed, they hid him themselves here and there as rats hide themselves from snakes.
It is like, even though he was very cruel, even though he was not a good king, But because of his cruelty and severeness in nature, the rogues and thieves were afraid of him, because he would be very severe in his punishment. That's why somehow or other the common people, they got rid of the disturbance from the rogues and thieves. Mataji, next verse. Only translation.
When the king ascends to the throne, he became all powerful with 8 kinds of opulences. Consequently, he became too proud. By virtue of his false prestige, he considered himself to be greater than anyone. Thus, he began to insult great personalities.
Yeah. So even though he did not, get these opulences like 8 kinds of vibhuti, opulences like Anima, Mahima, Lagima, Prapti, Kambashita, Ishita, Bashita. These are like siddhis. He did not get this through his austerity or personal sadhana, but kind of he was thinking himself that I am the owner of these vibhutis, special qualities, and he became proud of these things. Yeah, and he started insulting like all the exalted sages and the brahmanas. Yeah. Mataji, you can read the next one.
When he became overly blind due to his opulences, King Vena mounted a chariot and, like an uncontrolled elephant, began to travel through the kingdom, causing the sky and earth to tremble wherever he went.
Next verse, Mataji.
All the twice-born Brahmanas were forbidden henceforward to perform any sacrifice, and they were also forbidden to give charity or offer clarified butter. Thus King Vena sounded kettle drums throughout the countryside. In other words, he stopped all kinds of religious rituals.
Yeah, next verse.
Therefore, all the great sages assembled together and, after observing cruel Vena's atrocities, concluded that a great danger and catastrophe was approaching the people of the world. Thus, out of compassion, they began to talk amongst themselves, for they themselves were the performers of the sacrifices.
Yes. So when this is the mentality of the demoniac people. In the story of Prthu Maharaj, we also saw that Hiranyakashipu stopped all kind of religious activities, because to elevate from our present platform to a higher platform, we need to perform those karma kanda section of the Vedas, and it only almost like most part of it deals with that fire sacrifice, how to offer different kind of sacrifice, perform different kind of yajna for the satisfactions of the Lord Vishnu and other demigods, so that you can get some benefits, both material and spiritual. Spiritual in the sense like when you are satisfied and you are performing your duties in the society under the varnashram system, then you will gradually elevate to the higher spiritual platform. So he stopped that, King Vena. So like the sages, the intelligent society of the kingdom, country, they were disturbed. Actually, they were approached. They actually observed that the people of the society are in distressed condition. So they wanted to rectify King Vena. They approached him in a very submissive way. Submissive means like they are like very peaceful. They are not like in a ferocious manner, like why you are doing it. Rather, they are very peaceful, and they actually appreciated that he is a king. And they told like if you allow people to perform sacrifice, if you allow people to do religious activities, it's beneficial for you. It will give you opulences, it will give you enough fame, name, everything, any kind of material things you want, and also spiritually. Because it is said in the Shastra that if a king is very good, his subjects are happy, he takes care of them nicely, he will get pious credit done by them. Like the subjects, if they are doing good things, he will get some part of it. But if a king is cruel and his subjects are distressed and they are doing impious activities, he will definitely get impious credits. So, by indirectly, providing, like directly providing them good means of living their life, indirectly he is getting lot of pious credits so that he can also elevate himself to a higher spiritual platform. But King Vena, he being an atheistic personality, he told like, I am the king, I am the possessor of all opulences, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You should not actually worship Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva or Indra or anything. You should actually give proper respect to me. You are ignorant. You sages are ignorant. You don't know actually whom to approach for the benefit of yourselves. Then sages, they could not tolerate this kind of blasphemy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they immediately said, no, this person is meant to be killed. He cannot actually stay in this material world. He will cause disturbance to the society only. So then, by the power of their mantra, only by the power of their mantra, they killed him immediately. This is the power of like the pure Vaishnavas, pure saints, because their mantra is very effective. That's why we see like when some Bhagavat is chanting or doing normal kirtan, maybe sometimes it's not very nice tune, but it is very potent. You will feel some special vibration. You will feel like something is happening in your heart because they are connected to the spiritual world directly. They are feeling that bliss in their heart and they are transforming that, or they are transferring it to your heart. So you are feeling something extraordinary, even though it might not be good concert or nice instruments or whole arrangement is not up to the platform of very professional arrangement, but because of their purity, because of their and understanding of the glories of the holy name and realizing it themselves, they can transfer a special energy to you. So they could not tolerate that, the sages, so they killed him immediately. It is said like in the previous yugas, the mantras were so powerful that the sages, they can chant a mantra and they can make someone enliven. That's why during different kind of sacrifices like Ashramet Yagya, Gomet Yagya, those animals were killed. That Ashra, that horse was killed, this cow was killed, but immediately they were given a better life through the chanting of mantra. It's not killed because they wanted to eat the flesh or meat. It's not like that. It's because they wanted to give him a chance to elevate to a different, and also they wanted to perform their sacrifice because it's meant to that sacrifice is meant to kill that animal. But in Kali Yuga, there are 5 things prohibited. So these like sacrifices where animals are being killed, that's also prohibited in Kali Yuga. It is says like 5 things in 8th canto. Bhagavan Bamandev, Lord Bamana, he instructs King Bali that 5 things has not to be performed in the time of Kali Yuga. So this Ashwamedh Yagya, Gomedh Yagya, and offering oblation, meat oblation to the forefathers like Palanya, it's not also, and then begetting child through the husband's brother, Niyog is not, and also sannyas. So sannyas actually, there is a distinction like the sannyas our acharyas took and the sannyas which is prohibited in like that sannyas is like ekdandi sannyas, like Mayavad sannyas. Anyways, so when he was killed, Vena, he was not cremated because his mother was, she has tantric quality. She could chant some mantra and preserve the bodies, and she did that. And the people in the society, they again fell into the trap of that, thieves, miscreants, cheaters. They were very disturbed again, because without a king, a society is incomplete, and nobody was there to take the charge of the society. So the sages again, contemplated on that, and then they decided that King Vena is a descendant of Prthu Maharaj. Prthu Maharaj is a very highly elevated devotee, so we should keep the lineage of his family, his we should keep his like energy. So they started churning the thigh of King Vena first. And after churning the thigh of King Vena, there came out one person called Bahuka. He was a Nishad. He was the first Nishad personality. So he was very short. His hands, his legs were short. His eyes were reddish. And his body was like a crow, very black, dark black. So actually he took the sins, the bad qualities of King Vena, took the form of that Bahuka, and he actually he absorbed, or he was given those characteristics which are actually present, bad qualities present in King Vena. And that's why Nishadas, they are not considered, in, under the jurisdiction of the Vedic society. They live in mountains, hills, and they do, that hunting, other things, and they are not, good in characteristics. So they are not like highly, like not under the jurisdiction of Chaturvarna, like Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. They are outside of that. Even not they are Chandala. Chandala is like, even they are outcast, but they are inside the Vedic system, but they are not even Chandala anyways. So he took the form. And then again they started chanting the hands of King Vena, both hands. And from his hands there came out two very special personality. One is King Prthu Maharaj, Maharaj Prthu, and another is Archi Devi. So when they appeared, immediately the sages realized that this personality is very special. He is the plenary expansion, Kala Vishesh of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Vishnu. And Archi is his eternal consort, who is a plenary expansion of Mother Lakshmi herself. So how they realized it? Srila Prabhupada is explaining in the Papa that there are some special symptoms that a personality will appear, and he will be, plenary expansion of the or the expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he needs to have a special characteristics in his body. In Samudra Shastra, we discussed it in some other class, right? There are 36 physical qualities which represents a a special person. Maybe in one person maybe in one person you won't see all the characteristics, but for in a special person you will see some characteristics at least. But for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the 36 qualities present. We see like Lord Chaitanya had all the 36 qualities, and when Nilambar Chakravarti was scrutinizing his astrological chart, he found that his opulences, his knowledge, his intelligence, everything resembled to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana himself. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead's present representative or plenary expansions should have also special characteristics. So they saw that there is some special, very distinctive disc mark, Lord Vishnu's disc mark in his palms, and there is marks of lotus in his feet. I think both feet. Yeah. So they understood that these are like resemblance of Lord Vishnu's plenary expansions. And they were very pleased that he appeared to take charge of the earthly planet. And they started, the reciters, they started actually glorifying King Prthu as soon as he arrived. And different demigods, they have given him different gifts, very, very special gifts. Like Lord Shiva gave a sword, Lord Vishnu gave the disc, Mother Durga gave a special kind of shield. Lord Brahma gave something. So likewise, he was given very, very special gifts. Now we will see, what characteristics he was born with. Like And that characteristics resembles the characteristics of a perfect king. Okay. So, Mataji, can you please go to the chapter 16? So the reciters, the professional reciters, when they were chanting the glories of King Prthu, they were actually identifying those characteristics in himself. Yeah. So I will say, like, you can read 5 each. It's quite long. 22 verses, I guess.
The great sage Maitreya continued, while King Prthu thus spoke, the humility of his nectarian species pleased the...
Mataji, only translation is enough because we don't want to read purport of us.
pleased the reciters very much. Then again they continued to praise the king highly with exalted prayers as they had been instructed by the great sages.
Only chapter view. Go back. Yeah. Go back. Chapter view. No, view maybe. View only. View. No, only view. No, only view, yes. No. View only. Only view. View is okay. It's not needed. View is okay. The chapter view is not needed. Anyways, yeah. Go down, Mataji. Yeah. Next verse.
The reciter continued, Dear King, you are a direct incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, and by His causeless mercy you have descended to this earth. Therefore, it is not possible for us to actually glorify your exalted activities. Although you have appeared through the body of King Vena, even great orators and speakers like Lord Brahma and other demigods cannot exactly describe the glorious activities of your Lordship. Although we are unable to glorify you adequately, we nonetheless have a transcendental taste for glorifying your activities. We shall try to glorify you according to the instructions received from authoritative sages and scholars. Whatever we speak, however, is always inadequate and very insignificant. Dear King, because you are a direct incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all your activities are liberal and ever laudable.
Yeah, that is the special qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His devotees. You cannot glorify enough them. Like it is said, like Lord Shesha is glorifying Lord Vishnu through his millions of mouths from the time immemorial. Still, it's unique in each time, each glorification, and it's never stopping. Because when you realize the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees, pure devotees, you will see that they have innumerable of qualities and you cannot ever glorify them enough. Next verse 4.
The king, Maharaj Prthu, is the best amongst those who are following religious principles. As such, he will engage everyone in the pursuit of religious principles and give those principles all protection. He will also be great chastiser to the irreligious and atheistic.
Yeah, that's the quality. Like in a king should also have the power and the intelligence to punish those who are atheistic and irreligious. He should discern like who is good and who is bad. That discretion is a necessary quality of the Kshatriyas. And not necessarily he has to always be guided by himself. He needs to take shelter of the sages, saints especially, when there is a difficult situation arise. Because the intelligent classes of society, people, they are working in the society side by side with a king. They are higher than king, but they also try to help the people of the society to elevate to a higher spiritual platform. So that's why they always guide the kings in different time, place and circumstances. So we also see that our acharyas are guiding in our day-to-day life. Whenever there is a difficult situation arise, we take shelter of a senior Vaishnava or a Bhagavat Acharya so that he can give us some solution, right? We see. Yeah, next one.
This king alone, in his own body, will be able to due course of time to maintain all living entities and keep them in a pleasant condition by manifesting himself as different demigods to perform various departmental activities. Thus, he will maintain the upper planetary system by inducing the populace to perform Vedic sacrifices. In due course of time, he will also maintain this earthly planet by discharging proper rainfall.
Yeah, so it's the verse of the Bhagavad Gita, right? Like that fire sacrifice is needed, and from fire sacrifice comes the rain, right? That annat bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhava parjanya bhavati jagga bhavati parjanya jagga karma samadbhava. Mataji, can you put Bhagavad Gita verse 3.14 or something? 14.13 something, I forgot. 3.14, because that's relevant to this thing, like why it is important to do prescribed duties, like fires, like sacrifices, and how that sacrifice is maintaining the whole society. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhava yagyad bhavati parjanya yagya karma samadbhava. So it is the kind of ecosystem, anna, like the maintenance of the living society, like living beings, and then from living beings, sacrifice, fire sacrifice. From the fire sacrifice comes rain, and then rain produces the grains. Translation: all living bodies subsist on food grains, which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yajna, sacrifice, and a yajna is born of prescribed duties. So prescribed duties, like mentioned in the Vedas, they are the source of the yajna. Mataji, go to the purport also. Sri Baladev Vidyabhushan, a great commentator on the Bhagavad Gita, writes as follows: Ye indriyadi anagataya avasthitam yagyam sarveshwaram vishnum avyarchya tatchesham ashnati tena taddeha yatram sampadayanti te santa sarvesharasya yagya purushasya bhakta sarva kilveshir anadikala vibidhair atmanubhava pratibandhakair nikhilai papar vimuchyante. The Supreme Lord, who is known as the Yajna Purusha, or the personal beneficiary of all sacrifices, is the master of all the demigods, who serve himself as the different limbs of the body serve the whole. Yeah? That what is that verse? Yagyarthat karmana anyatra loko hayam karma bandhana tadartha karma konteya mukta sangha samachara. Like the by doing the fire sacrifice, you will get rid of, like yajna, like sacrifice for the pleasure of the Vishnu. You will get rid of the bondage of karma bandhan, and you will be happy. And tadartha karma konteya mukta sangha samachara. So only do the sacrifice to please Lord Vishnu, not for other purpose. So where we are there? Yajna Purusha, okay. Or the personal Vishnu is the master of all the demigods who serve him as different limbs. Okay. Demigods like Indra, Chandra and Varuna are appointed officers who manage material affairs, and the Vedas direct sacrifices to satisfy these demigods so that they may be pleased to supply air, light and water sufficiently to produce food grains. When Lord Krishna is worshipped, the demigods who are different limbs of the Lord are also automatically worshipped. Therefore, there is no separate need to worship the demigods. In the ninth chapter, right? Lord says, they are, or those who are worshipping demigods, they are indirectly worshipping. In 9th or 12th chapter, I forgot. Yeah. So here Srila Prabhupada is quoting that also. For this reason, the devotees of the Lord who are in Krishna consciousness offer food to Krishna and then eat, a process which nourishes the body spiritually. By such action, not only are past sinful reactions in the body vanquished, but the body becomes immunized to all contamination of material nature. When there is an epidemic disease, an antiseptic vaccine protects a person from the attack of such an epidemic. Similarly, food offered to Lord Vishnu and then taken by us makes us sufficiently resistant to material affection, and one who is accustomed to this practice is called a devotee of the Lord. Maybe 13th chapter, right? Therefore, a person in Krishna consciousness who eats only food offered to Krishna can counteract all reactions of past material infections, which are impediments to the progress of self-realization. On the other hand, one who doesn't do so continue to increase the volume of sinful action, and this prepares the next body to resemble hawks and dogs, to suffer the resultant reactions of all sins. The material world is full of contaminations, and one who is immunized by accepting prasadam of the Lord, food offered to Vishnu, is saved from the attack, whereas one who doesn't do so becomes subjected to contamination. Fruit grains or vegetables are factually eatables. The human being eats different kinds of food grains, vegetables, fruits, etc. And the animals eat the refuse of the food grains and vegetables, grass, plants, etc. Human beings who are accustomed to eating meat and flesh must also depend on the production of vegetation in order to eat the animals. Therefore, ultimately, we have to depend on the production of the field and not on the production of big factories. The field production is due to sufficient rain from the sky, and such rains are controlled by demigods like Indra, sun, moon, etc. And they are all servants of the Lord. The Lord can be satisfied by sacrifices. Therefore, one who cannot perform them will find himself in scarcity. That is the law of nature. Yajna, especially the Sankirtan Yajna prescribed for this age, must therefore be performed to save us at least from scarcity of food supply. I can remember in this regard, 2 years back, there was huge drought. Still it's drought in California. So Vaisheshika Prabhu was discussing that, we should perform Sankirtan Yajna properly so that, the rain comes. And we had very nice Kirtan for, 2-3 days. And after that, we had a very good rain. And we are really appreciating that, by doing Kirtan, Sankirtan Yajna, we got the blessings of the demigods and Lord Vishnu, Krishna. So yeah, it's very effective actually. When there is a Sankirtan Yajna going on, because in Kali Yuga, only prescribed duty is the Sankirtan Yajna. You cannot perform that Ashwamedh Yajna or Gomedh Yajna because the chanters are not pure, the ingredients are not pure, and the consciousness is also not pure. So you cannot perform pure fire sacrifice, what the other yugas, saints used to do. Yeah. Mataji, you can go back to that, chapter 16, from 6 onwards. Yeah, over it. Yeah.
Verse 6.
6, 6 Mataji. The before one, yeah.
This King Prthu will be as powerful as the sun god, and just as the sun god equally distributes his sunshine to everyone, King Prthu will distribute his mercy equally. Similarly, just as the sun god evaporates water for 8 months and during the rainy season returns it profusely, this king will also exact taxes from the citizens and return these monies in times of need. This King Prthu will be very, very kind to all citizens. Even though a poor person may trample over king's head by violating the rules and regulations, the king out of his causeless mercy will be forgetful and forgiving. As a protector of the world, he will be as tolerant as the earth itself. When there is no rainfall and the citizens are in great danger due to the scarcity of water, this royal personality of Godhead will be able to supply rains exactly like the heavenly king Indra. Thus he will very easily be able to protect the citizens from drought.
Yeah, that is one quality of the saintly kings. they can actually control the nature. So there is not any cataclysm or catastrophe which affect the lives of the people of a society. So you will not feel earthquake, you will not feel drought, extreme flood, this kind of things. Because Mother Earth is very happy and she doesn't disturb the society when she's happy. Yeah, you will see that in next verses. Yeah, 9. Yeah.
This King Prthu Maharaj, by virtue of his affectionate glances and beautiful moon-like face, which is always smiling with great affection for the citizens, will enhance everyone's peaceful life. The reciters continued, No one will be able to understand the policies the king will follow. His activities will also be very confidential, and it will not be possible for anyone to know how he will make every activity successful. His treasury will always remain unknown to everyone. He will be the reservoir of unlimited glories and good qualities, and his position will be maintained and covered just as Varuna, the deity of the seas, is covered all around by water.
Yes. Yeah.
King Prthu was born of the dead body of King Vena, as fire is produced from arani wood. Thus King Prthu will always remain just like fire, and his enemies will not be able to approach him. Indeed, he will be unbearable to his enemies, for although staying very near him, they will never be able to approach him, but will have to remain as if far away. No one will be able to overcome the strength of King Prthu. King Prthu will be able to see all the internal and external activities of every one of his citizens. Still, no one will be able to know his system of espionage, and he himself will remain neutral regarding all matters of glorification or vilification paid to him. He will be exactly like air, the life force within the body, which is exhibited internally and externally, but is always neutral to all affairs.
It is said that if for a king to be very good and successful, he needs to be confidential in some cases. One is espionage, like how he is maintaining relationship with other countries, how he is getting informations. And secondly is like his opulences. He should not disclose his treasury, his income of the kingdom to anyone. He should keep it to himself and maybe some very close associates. These are the some confidential quality. And he should be very grave, and he should be undisturbed by the vilifications and praise both. He should not be very boastful that people are all happy, they are praising me like anything. Or she should not be disturbed he doesn't like me. He is because there should be, one cannot please us all, right? So there should be someone who will not be pleased with him. Even though this is King Prithu's pastime is like Satya Yoga pastime. So that time maybe the people are all happy and peaceful. But in today's future also, even if it's very difficult to find that one person is pleasing all. Somehow or other you will have something with him. So he should not be disturbed, because as a leader, he should consider everyone as his son. Every subject, every inhabitants of even not only the human beings, even the animals, insects, everyone. So he should treat them as his own child. And when you are treating someone as your own child, you will foster that personality. You will give him all kind of necessity, and you will not be always mindful what he is saying, what he is thinking about me. And if he is saying something bad, you will consider, no, he is a child, he is my own. Even if your child says something to you, you will not be very ferocious, or you will not retaliate instantly. You will observe it. So, and also that is another quality of a Kshatriya. Kshatriyas are very, very tolerant. They should not actually punish a person by listening instantly or become very ferocious. They should be tolerant because they are very powerful. Kshatriyas can annihilate the lot of things, like not only Earth planet, they can annihilate heavenly planets also. So if they are not tolerant, if they just get disturbed very easily, that's not good for the society. And yes, yeah, continue.
Since this king will always remain on the path of pity, he will be neutral to both his son and the son of his enemy. If the son of his enemy is not punishable, he will not punish him. But if his own son is punishable, he will immediately punish him. Just as the sun god expands his shining rays up to the Arctic region without impedance, the influence of King Prthu will cover all tracts of land up to the Arctic region and will remain undisturbed as long as he lives. This king will please everyone by his practical activities, and all of his citizens will remain very satisfied. Because of this, the citizens will take great satisfaction in accepting him as their ruling king.
Yeah, it says Yat yat acharati sreshta tat tat eveta rajana sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanu vartate. Those the sreshtas, those the supreme class of the human beings, what they are doing, everyone else automatically follows them. So whatever example they present to the society, the mass people, the general public, they want to follow that example. So King Prthu, being a very saintly king, and the plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he presented the highest class of example to the society. So everyone was happy and they were following his footsteps. And they were, praising him. Yeah, they are very peaceful. Next, you want to?
The king will be firmly determined and always situated in truth. He will be a lover of the Brahmanical culture and will render all service to old men and give shelter to all surrendered souls. Giving respect to all, he will always be merciful to the poor and innocent. The king will respect all women as if they were his own mother, and he will treat his own wife as the other half of his body. He will be just like an affectionate father to his citizens, and he will treat himself as the most obedient servant of the devotees, who always preach the glories of the Lord.
Mataji, right? In ISKCON we call everyone Mataji. That same concept, that you should consider all women as your mother. Then you will be respectful to them. You will try to, and your approach to them will be very pure, not contaminated.
The king will consider all embodied living entities as dear as his own self, and he will always be increasing the pleasures of his friends. He will intimately associate with liberated persons, and he will be chastising hand to all impious persons.
Yeah, that is one of the activities, like various special activities of the pious people. Like they associate with liberated persons who are not, contaminated by the material nature, beyond the three modes of material nature, like beyond the three, like Trigunna Vishaya Veda. Three modes of material nature are the subject matter of Veda, but they are not, indulging themselves in these three subject matters, rather for the transcendental activities, which is beyond these modes of material nature.
This king is the master of three worlds, and he is directly empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is without change, and he is an incarnation of the Supreme known as Sacrificial Avatara. Being a liberated soul and completely learned, he sees all material varieties as meaningless because their basic principle is nescience.
Nations, yeah. Yes, okay.
This king, being uniquely powerful and heroic, will have no competitor. He will travel around the globe on his victorious chariot, holding his invincible bow in his hand and appearing exactly like the sun, which rotates in its own orbit from the south.
That's it, huh? Yeah, you got it.
21. When the king travels all over the world, the other kings as well as the demigods will offer him all kinds of presentations. The queens will also consider him the original king who carries in his hands the emblem of club and disc, and will sing of his fame, for he will be as reputable as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This king, this protector of the citizens, is an extraordinary king and is equal to the Prajapati demigods. For the living facility of all citizens, he will milk the earth, which is like a cow. Not only that, but he will level the surface of the earth with the pointed ends of his bow, breaking all the hills, exactly as King Indra, the heavenly king, breaks mountains with his powerful thunderbolt. When the lion travels in the forest with its tail turned upward, all menial animals hide themselves. Similarly, when King Prthu will travel all over his kingdom and vibrate the string of his bow, which is made of the horns of goats and bulls and is irresistible in battle, all demoniac rogues and thieves will hide themselves in all directions. At the source of the river Saraswati, this king will perform 100 sacrifices known as Ashwamedha. In the course of the last sacrifice, the heavenly king Indra will steal the sacrificial horse. King Prthu will meet Sanat Kumara, one of the 4 Kumaras, in the garden of his palace compound. The king will worship him with devotion and will be fortunate to receive instructions by which one can enjoy transcendental bliss.
Yeah, in this way, when the chivalrous activities of King Prthu come to be known to the people in general, King Prthu will always share about himself and his uniquely powerful activities. No one will be able to deserve the orders of Prthu Maharaj. After conquering the world, he will completely eradicate the threefold miseries of the citizens. Then he will be recognized all over the world. At that time, both the Suras and Asuras will undoubtedly glorify his magnanimous activities. Yeah. So in these chapters, the reciters, they glorified King Prthu. They identified different good qualities of him as a king, as a person, and also forecasted the activities, major activities he will do in his lifetime. Like he will churn different kinds of ingredients from. Actually, he will milk Mother Earth, and they will derive different kinds of ingredients needed for the society. So the next chapter, I think, it's about angry. Maharaj Prthu became angry at the earth. So what happened? His inhabitants were very disturbed because they were not getting enough ingredients, grains to eat. So they approached Maharaj Prthu, and they told, fervently that we are not given enough food by Mother Earth. Even though we are performing yajnas, we are providing the ahuti for Mother Earth also. And King Prthu, he intelligently judged their plea, and he found that from their part there was no mistake. So he was very angry because his subjects were getting emaciated, they were not eating enough, not getting enough ingredients to sustain their life. So he wanted to punish Mother Earth. So Mother Earth was actually a little bit afraid. She was very afraid actually, and she took the form of a cow. But King Prthu was running behind her. Then Mother Earth, she told to King Prthu that I am a sinless person. I did not do any bad to anyone. So why you are punishing me? And also, I am mother. You should not punish me like I am a striya. So King Prthu told, no, she told no, you are not sinless. You are not providing enough ingredients. And as a king, I should punish you. Those who are creating disturbance to the kingdom, I should punish them. Then Mother Earth told, actually, I was hiding all these ingredients because King Vena was a tyrant. He was a tyranny king, and he was not ruling the kingdom according to the Vedic injunctions. He did not perform fast sacrifice. That's why I was not providing society with enough ingredients needed for the subsistence. Then she told, okay, I have taken a form of cow, so I need a calf, and somebody, milk me from each of those, part, each representative of the society, from demigods, asuras. One person can, milk me, and one person can take the form of a calf. So King Prthu, he milked mother cow, and he got lot of grains, all the seeds for the society, and then demigods, they got somarasa. Then the sages, they milked him through Brihaspati, and they got knowledge. Like those who wanted what for their subsistence, they got exactly the same, the thing. Like the tiger, they got flesh, meat. So it's not like that, in the society there is no need for like the ecosystem is such that the Lord provides each and everyone according to their nature. Like if you tell a tiger to eat a vegetarian food, he cannot actually subsist. So Krishna, the Lord Vishnu, he provided each and every living entity with his respective necessity. So it ends like that. And then King Prthu, he performs a very special series of fire sacrifice for the benefits of the society. It's called 100 horse sacrifice. And in that horse sacrifice, when he was approaching the 100th one, then King Indra was disturbed. He thought, like, if he achieves that platform, then it will be difficult, like he will get more opulence, fame than me. So he wanted to disturb it. He wanted to hinder that sacrificial ceremony. And he took the form, disguise of a saintly person, and he stole the horse. So one of the son of King Prthu, he somehow or other, defeated him. Like that's a big story short. Atri Muni, he was in the list of the priests. He was conducting, and he warned that son of Prthu, and he defeated, and he got the horse. And by that, doing that, he came to be known as Bijitashma, Ashwa, like who actually conquered the horse. And King Prthu, he wanted to punish Lord Indra. Then Lord Brahma, he appeared, and he told, you should. It's not befitting that you are punishing. So I'm telling all these things, like how a king should perform. If it is needed to punish a person like Indra, he is ready to do that also. It's not like that he is the king of heaven, that he will be rescued, or he can be left alone. It's not like that. If somebody who is committing disturbance to the society, disturbance to the country, you are eligible to punish that, but not for your own pride or arrogance. That is also mentioned in the instructions by Lord Brahma, that you are the plenary portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So you should not be that much angry towards Lord Indra. He is also one of the beneficiary of the yajna. So he also takes part in the yajna. But sometimes that's the nature of the demigods. Sometimes they get baffled because they are not in pure Suddha Satta, because they have that little bit of enjoying propensity. That's why you see in the Krishna Lila, Lord Indra is showering torrential rains on the Brajvasis. Lord Brahma is taking away all the cowherd boys and the cows. So they get little baffled, though they are very close to Krishna, but sometimes, yeah. So that's how Prthu. And then Lord Vishnu appeared in the sacrificial arena. Actually, Lord Brahma says, even 99 sacrifice is enough. I think this is the will of providence. You should accept it. You should not perform the 100th sacrifice. And secondly, you should not kill Indra, because in the sacrificial arena, you should not kill anything but the sacrificial animal itself. Like it's Ashramat Yagya, you should kill only the horse which is meant for that sacrifice to be killed. Not the one King Indra, he should not be sacrificed. Yeah. Anyway, so then Lord Vishnu appeared, and he instructed, and he blessed him, and he told, very soon 4 Kumaras will come to your country, and you will get a chance to serve them, and you can ask transcendental inquiries to them. So this is also another instruction. Whenever a saintly person comes to us, we should always serve him. First thing is the serving, because he should be pleased. Second thing, we should ask questions. Like questions matter to the transcendental realization, not that how can I get a good job, what is the best popular job branch right now, like whether it is IT or big data or data science or security, software security, whatever. So you shouldn't ask that. You should ask like how should I behave in this society, or how should I nourish myself so that I can get rid of the attachment of the material bondage. So anyone here can tell the 4 branches of authorized Vaishnava Sampradaya, and 4 Kumaras is one of the branches, right? And there are acharyas, main acharyas. Because it's very important. If somebody tries to tell you that, I am a Vaishnava, and then in your conversation, not immediately you should ask, but sometimes that query may come like, where you are getting initiated from, or, which lineage you are connected to. So if it is not unauthorized, then it's better not to discuss with them too much. Yeah. So, so 4 sampradaya.
Sri Ramanujacharya Sampradaya, Sri Vallabhacharya Sampradaya,
yes,
Sri Madhvacharya Sampradaya, and Sri
Nimbarkacharya. Actually, their sampradaya is known as different. They are the acharyas of the sampradaya. Sri Ramanuja Sampradaya is the Sri Sampradaya, Mother Lakshmi. And then 4 Kumaras, Madhacharya is Brahma Sampradaya. Lord Brahma is the originator of that Sampradaya. Brahma, Narad, then Vyasdeva. Then
Nimbarkara is 4
Kumaras. Yeah. They are the 4 Kumara Sampradaya. And Ballavacharya is Rudra Sampradaya, Lord Rudra. Their main acharya is actually Vishnu Swami. And Vishnu Swami and Ballavacharya. Vishnu Swami is the guru of Ballavacharya. Ballavacharya, Vittalnath, they is like, that chain. Vittalnath is the son of Ballavacharya, so they are Rudra Sampradaya. Like mainly the Srinathji, they are all Rudra Sampradaya. So these are the authorized Sampradaya. Lord Chaitanya actually authorized all these Sampradaya as the proper Vaishnava Sampradaya. So whatever knowledge is being descendant through them, those are pure, those are coming directly from Krishna. But other Sampradaya, they are, I even don't know, but I know that some Apo Sampradaya is there in Bengal. So whenever you get a chance to associate with the pure devotees, you should serve them and get instructions for them based on your circumstances. Like I am now at this time, I have a kid, how should I execute my devotional service? I am working like 9 to 8. Some people, yesterday we went to a devotee's home. He was telling like he is going to office at 8:30 and coming at 8. So it's like 12 hours job. So in that circumstance, what should I do? How should I execute my sadhana? So they can give you solution. They can give you their realization, and they can help you to achieve your success. Yeah. So next is, I want to read some instructions of the Prthu Maharaj. Actually, we read the verse 4.21.22. So Mataji, can you go to 4.21.21? There, Sri Prthu Maharaj is addressing his subjects, and he's telling that different instructions, his realizations, and his activities. So you can understand how deep is his realization, and how appreciative he is to the Supreme Personality of Godhead for giving him the chance to serve the inhabitants of the earthly planet. Or inhabitants, it's not like those human beings of the earthly planets. In fact, Srila Prabhupada says all the living entities are citizens. You should not actually slaughter the animals because of your satisfaction. 4.21. Okay. Mataji, only translation is okay. So we can go to the translation. Yeah. You want to read? Who has to read? Mataji. Yeah.
Prthu said, O gentle members of the assembly, may all good fortune be upon you. May all of you great souls who have come to attend this meeting kindly hear my prayer attentively. A person who is actually inquisitive must present his decision before an assembly of noble souls.
Next verse, Mataji. Actually, you can go to the view only. Yeah. Chapter. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. View only. View is good enough. Yeah, that's also good, yeah. Go to verse number 22. No, it's okay, Mataji, it's okay. No, not there. Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to do anything else, yeah, that's fine. You go down, yeah. Yeah, 22. So we read that verse 22 today, yeah. No, go
Mataji,
back.
Mataji. Yeah, read it, Mataji. King Prthu continued, by the grace of the Supreme Lord, I have been appointed the king of this planet, and I carry the scepter to rule the citizens, protect them from all danger, and give them employment according to their respective positions in the social order established by Vedic injunction. Maharaja Prthu said, I think that upon the execution of my duties as king, I shall be able to achieve the desirable objectives described by experts in Vedic knowledge. This destination is certainly achieved by the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the seer of all destiny. Any king who does not teach his citizens about their respective duties in terms of Varna and Ashrama, but who simply exact tolls and taxes from them, is liable to suffer from the impious activities which have been performed by the citizens. In addition to such degradation, the king also loses his own fortune. Prthu Maharaja continued, therefore, my dear citizens, for the welfare of your king after his death, you should execute your duties properly in terms of your positions of Varna and Ashrama, and should always think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within your hearts. By doing so, you will protect your own interest, and you will be bestow mercy upon your king for his welfare after death.
So, for the successful, to get success in life, it's very important to have a varnashram system present in the society. But at this current phase of the yugas, Kali Yuga, it is very difficult to establish varnashram to the full extent, because the intelligent class is gone. And the Kshatriyas, they are not present. They are not like the kings, they are not chivalrous, they are not strengthful enough, they are not austere, they are not tolerant. And Vaishya, that intelligent, productive class, they are also not there. They are all just the people, businessmen in the society. Hare Krishna Mataji. In the society, they just want to chant people and earn money by hook or crook. That's their motive. They don't want to serve the society. Only Shudras are there too, and also they are not that much skillful. Like you have propensity to do something, but you are doing something else. Yeah, because people are moving only for the money. So it's very difficult. But it's possible to establish the Daiva Varnashram system even in this atmosphere. That's why Srila Prabhupada emphasized always Daiva Varnashram. So the perfect Varnashram system that was present in other yugas, that we can implement through Daiva Varnashram system, where each one will work according to his inclination, but the main goal is to please Krishna. So even though the varnashram system was present in the previous yugas, but that was mainly focused on the karma kanda section of the Vedas. They will perform their duties according to the prescribed duties of the mankind mentioned in the Vedas. But in the Daiva varnashram system, each one will work for the benefit of the to please Krishna, as a service to Krishna. So that is a difference. There is a difference between the Daiva Varnashram and the normal Varnashram. So Daiva Varnashram is more pleasant, blissful, and it's directly connecting to the spiritual world. And that Varnashram system which was present before, that was not entirely connected to the Supreme Lord directly. Indirectly, that they are performing, and they are somehow or other contributing everyone in the sacrifice or yajna through their prescribed duties. So that should be our goal ultimately, because Srila Prabhupada also said, like, in course of time, because now we are producing money, like printing money and producing like electronic goods, and people are not focused in the agrarian society. But in course of time, it will happen, like people will not have enough food to eat. Another thing is, like, you are doing so much heinous activities. You are persecuting the animals and butchering them, slaughtering them indiscriminately through slaughterhouse. So the Mother Earth will not also produce enough grains. Sometimes it is said, like, the population of the earth has become so much that it's very difficult to produce enough grains for everyone's subsistence. But Srila Prabhupada is commenting, it is never like that. Mother Earth can produce enough grains for each and every living entity, because it was mentioned when we were reading that verse, Annat Bhavanti Bhutani, that the vegetations we are producing, most part of it is being fed to the animals, which is being slaughtered in the slaughterhouses. So lot of things are getting wasted by that because of our irrational inclination of food behavior, or which is not prescribed. But if we can provide enough food for the society, so ISKCON or any spiritual organization should have that power to provide enough food for the society when they take shelter to us and give them different jobs based on their quality. That should be our long-term plan, because this movement will stay here for at least next 10,000 years. And you only see, like, last 20 years, the society got changed so much. So in next 100, 500, 3,000 years, how much it will get changed. So people will come to you and they will ask for food. You have to provide food and give them work. And Prthu Maharaj is doing the same. He made sure that everyone is getting Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Bhagavatam class. So everyone should get enough food, first thing. That's why he was punishing Mother Earth. And everyone should get some work according to his quality. Because if people don't have work, they will, like, if you don't have work, you will be not be a good citizen. You should do something for the society and for your family and for your own self also. Your accomplishment. Next, 26 onwards. Mataji, you want to read? You can read. Yeah, Mataji, give it on.
Which verse?
26 onwards, Mataji.
I request all the pure-hearted demigods, forefathers and saintly persons to support my proposal, for after death the result of an action is equally shared by its doer, its director and its supporter. My dear respectable ladies and gentlemen, according to the authoritative statements of Shanstra, there must be a supreme authority who is able to award the respective benefits of our present activities. Otherwise, why should there be persons who are unusually beautiful and powerful both in this life and in the life after death?
Just so here it is said, like, I request all the pure demigods, you can keep that, Mataji, you can read 3 more verses. So, for after death, the result of an action is equally shared by its doer, its director and its supporter. It is said, like, the meat eating process, 6 people are responsible. the person who gives the permission to eat the meat, the person who gives the money, the person who sells, the person who brings, the person who carts and cooks, and the person who eats. 6 people are responsible in that whole process. Similarly, if somebody is very appreciative, he may not be, taking part in the process of this chanting Harinam Yagya, Sankirtan Yagya, whatever devotional service we are doing, but they are came to temple and appreciative about the decoration, appreciative about the beauty of the deities, appreciative about the puja. He will get immense pious credit. He will get like so much sukriti that he never have thought, unknowingly. Niha vikrama nashasti pratyavayana vidyate salpam apyasya dharmasya tarate mahadbhayata. So appreciating Lord and being enchanted by His beauty, it's one kind of pious activity. Like not pious actually. Pious activity is actually mainly mentioned in the Vedas, but it's kind of a devotional service. You are appreciating Him through mind. You are praising Him. So this is very important. That's why when we go to the street Sankirtan and the devotees who are dancing in ecstasy because of the pure chanting, they are getting immense, sukriti, like good karmas, which will help them to come to the platform of the devotional life. If not in this birth, maybe in very near birth. You don't know. So it's very important that also those who are touching the books and taking Bhagavad Gita, book distribution, they are also, even though they keep it only at their home, only place it, even don't read, still it will give them, enough pious vibration, and they appreciate. Actually, I will share another pastime also. Once Srila Prabhupada was, when he was in US, he stayed in some Indian person, maybe Gujarati or some place from India. He was a good Hindu, but after coming to US at that time, he got little bit distracted from the process. So he did not appreciate that Srila Prabhupada is putting tilak and kantimala. Then Srila Prabhupada is writing in his diary that this is a big offense, because this tilak is the emblem of Lord's feet, Lord's temple, Urdhapundra, which we draw in our forehead. And this Kantimala is Tulsi Devi, and always protecting us from that, not like, on the bhile, like it's giving us that devotional connection. So one should not be disdainful or, think something wrong about it. It doesn't give. So if somebody is not appreciating or throwing ill words to you while you are doing Sankirtan, he is actually getting immense bad karma. Immense, like it's very difficult to purify him. Yeah, Mataji, you can continue. Yeah. So sorry, I want to just. So he's telling so those people who are appreciating. So I like he's telling those people who are doing good. That some good will come to me also as the director, because I am the top of the king. And if somebody is doing bad, that will also come to me. Prthu Maharaj is telling that, accepting that. Yeah, Mataji, please. Sorry.
This is confirmed not only by the evidence of the Vedas, but also by the personal behavior of great personalities like Manu, Uttanapada, Dhruva, Priyavrata, and my grandfather Enga. Is it correct? Enga?
Yes, correct.
Enga, as well as by many other great personalities and ordinary living entities, exemplified by Maharaja Prahlada and Bali, all of whom are theists believing in the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who carries a club. Although abominable persons like my father, Vena, the grandson of death personified, are bewildered on the path of religion, all the great personalities like those mentioned agree that in this world, the only bestower of the benedictions of religion, economic development, sense gratification, liberation, or elevation to the heavenly planets is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, so you can see that, in the family of Maharaj Prthu, there are so many saintly kings and big personalities like Sambhu Manu, his son Uttanpad, his son Dhruva Maharaj, and also he mentioned about his grandfather Anga, and in between there are like all great kings. So he was appreciating that, these people, they benefited the society, so by their blessings I am also doing something. Yeah, Mataji, you can give the mic to that Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah, you can read from 31, Prabhu.
Yeah. By the inclination to serve the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, suffering humanity can immediately cleanse the dirt which has accumulated in their minds during the innumerable births, like the Ganges water which emanates from the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord. Such a process immediately cleanses the mind, and thus spiritual and Krishna conscious gradually increases. When a devotee takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is completely cleansed of all misunderstandings or mental speculations, and he manifests renunciation. This is possible only when one is strengthened by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Once having taken shelter at the root of the lotus feet of the Lord, a devotee never comes back to this material existence which is full of the threefold miseries. Prthu Maharaj advised his citizens, engaging your minds, your words, your bodies, and the result of your occupational duties, and being always open-minded, you should all render devotional service to the Lord. According to your abilities and the occupations in which you are situated, you should engage your service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full confidence and without reservation. Then you will surely be successful in achieving the final objective of your lives. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is all-pervading, but he is also manifested in different types of bodies, which... Sorry. Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. 34. Yeah, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental and not contaminated by this material world. But although he is concentrated spirit soul without material variety, for the benefit of conditioned soul, he nevertheless accepts different types of sacrifice performed with various material elements, rituals and mantras, and offered to the demigods under different names according to the interests and purposes of the performers. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is all-pervading, but he is also manifested in different types of bodies which arise from a combination of material nature, time, desires, and occupational duties. Thus, different types of consciousness develop just as fire, which is always basically the same, blazes in different ways according to the shape and dimension of the firewood.
Yeah, that's it. So here, he says Lord takes different forms and people can offer different ingredients to Lord according to his, inclination. Because we are offering Radha Madan Mohan. Somebody can be very inclined to Lord Narayan Lakshmi. They can offer to Lord Narayan Lakshmi also in different forms. But it should be an authorized form also. It's not like, you whimsically thought of something and you started offering it to him. Yeah. And also according to the Shastra, like it's in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu you are reading, right? Sriti Shruti Puranadi Pancharatrik Vidimbina Aikantiki Harir Bhakti Utpaite Kalpate. So if you are not offering according to the Sriti Shruti and Puran, like Sriti means like, the Sriti Shastra, Manu Sangita and Chanakya Shastra. Shruti means like Vedas. Puranas, like the explanations of Vedas, Puranas and Upanishads. You have to follow the injunctions given in these scriptures and then execute the devotional process according to your inclination. Maybe somebody is very inclined to do, in our classes we are also reading like Sadhu Sangha Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Mathura, Sri Murti, Shraddha. There are 5 elements of the execution of pure devotional service. Main 5 elements, like among the 64. So somebody may be very inclined to read Srimad Bhagavatam, or somebody is very inclined to chant, more rounds other than like mandatory rounds. and somebody can, very inclined to do deity worship. In all these forms, one can get perfection according to his inclination. Yeah, so we need to understand that. And another thing, actually, I wanted to mention, I think I missed that point. This thing is like there are a very clear distinction between Varnashram and Daiva Varnashram. Varnashram is Lord's external potency. That's why it doesn't connect you to the Supreme Personality of Godhead immediately. Like it's kind of a via medium. Karma Kanda section you are offering, but sometimes even you don't know the meaning of the mantras. Sometimes you don't know actually you are motivated by the external things like for the sun, for the benefit of the society, for getting opulences. But Daiva Varnashram is the internal potency of the Lord. So through that you will directly offer your service to Him. There is no via medium. So I wanted to mention that, I forgot. Anyway, so 36, who wants to read 36? You want to? We're almost done. 10 verses more.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the master and enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices, and He is the Supreme Spiritual Master as well. All of you citizens on the surface of the globe who have relationship with me and are worshipping Him by dint of your occupational duties are bestowing your mercy upon me. Therefore, O my citizens, I thank you. The Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are personally glorified by their characteristic powers of tolerance, penance, knowledge, and education. By dint of all the spiritual assets, Vaishnavas are more powerful than royalty. It is therefore advised that the princely order not exhibit its material prowess before these two communities, and should avoid offending them.
Yeah, as I said, Brahmins are very powerful because they give intelligence to the society. They are the intelligence of the society. But Vaishnavas are more powerful than Brahman because they are directly connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and they are not attached to the material nature. But if Vaishnava, if he becomes a Brahmana, that when Vaishnava and Brahmana together, he becomes immensely powerful. He is glorified all over the globe. Because he is doing devotional service and he is engaging his intelligence for the service of the society so that they can also come to the platform of the devotional service. That's why Vaishnava Brahmanas are very immensely powerful. So we should always respect them actually. First they are Vaishnavas, second they are Vaishnava Brahman. This.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ancient eternal Godhead, who is foremost amongst all great personalities, obtained the opulence of His staunch reputation, which purifies the entire universe by worshipping the lotus feet of those Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is everlasting, independent, and who exists in everyone's heart, is very pleased with those who follow in His footsteps and engage without reservation in the service of the descendants of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, for He is always dear to Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, and they are always dear to Him. By regular service to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, one can clear the dirt from his heart and thus enjoy supreme peace and liberation from material attachment and be satisfied. In this world, there is no fruitive activity superior to serving the Brahmana class, for these can bring pleasure to the demigods for whom the many sacrifices are recommended.
Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitacha, right? Lord Krishna is very favorable to the Brahmanas, yeah. Almost done, yeah.
Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ananta, eats through the fire sacrifices offered in the names of the different demigods, He does not take as much pleasure in eating through fire as He does in accepting offerings to the mouths of learned sages and devotees, for then He does not leave the association of devotees. In Brahmanical culture, a Brahmana's transcendental position is eternally maintained because the injunction of the Vedas are accepted with faith, austerity, scriptural conclusions, full sense and mind control and meditation. In this way, the real goal of life is illuminated. just as one's face is fully reflected in a clear mirror. O respectable personalities present here, I beg the blessings of all of you that I may perpetually carry on my crown the dust of the lotus feet of such Brahmanas and Vaishnavas until the end of my life. He who can carry such dust on his head is very soon relieved of all the reactions which arise from sinful life, and eventually he develops all good and desirable qualities. Whoever acquires the Brahmanical qualifications, whose only wealth is good behavior, who is grateful and who takes shelter of experienced persons, gets all the opulence of the world. I therefore wish that the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His associates be pleased with Brahmana class, with the cows and with me. The great sage Maitreya said, after hearing King Prthu speak so nicely, all the demigods, the denizens of Pitralok, the Brahmanas and the saintly persons present at the meeting congratulated him by expressing their goodwill.
Yeah, so we can stop here. The main point is like, even though King Prthu was very learned and very priestly, saintly king, but he was always favorable to the Brahmanas, appreciating their qualities and serving them personally. Because when the 4 Kumaras came to his kingdom, he personally washed their feet and asked for advice, instructions. And then the Kumaras, they were saying like, you are already learned, but you are being humble, you are asking for my instructions. Then they instructed him according to his desire. And getting his instructions, he also ruled, like after getting their instruction, he delivered this speech to his countrymen so that they can also get benefited by that. And later on, he according to the injunction of the Shastra, he left his home, went for the Banpastra, and then he performed severe austerity there and left his body, and he went to back to Godhead in the spiritual sky. And his wife also followed him in the forest, and also she, even though it was very unpleasant for her because she was all alone a queen, but she performed all the austerities along with him, but she derived immense pleasure, it is also said. And they went back to Godhead, and he gave all his kingdom's responsibility to his son Bijitashma, Dhumraketu, these sons. Yeah. So we discussed actually a lot of things about King Prthu, but you cannot actually compare this kind of personality to any of the kings of this society, definitely. Only in Srimad Bhagavatam, other kings like King Yudhishthira, King Parikshit Maharaj, Lord Rama himself, or Lord Krishna himself, you can see like kings like him, or Bharat Maharaj, King Rishabdev. But you only see Hiranyakashipu, King Vena, Shishupal, Kamsa, Dantavakra. They are present in the society. That's the problem. Like they are not thinking of the welfare of the common people. They are not thinking of. They are not compassionate towards the living entities. They are voracious, kind of like they want to grab a lot of things. So anything you want to share, like you have read lot of things, like and heard a few things about King Prthu from me, and also we read some purport. Anything you want to share, like which is stuck in your mind? Anything? So you're almost on the verge of closing the class.
Actually, I don't have comment, but I have question.
Yeah,
is it all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my no, it definitely is a simple. So you said that Prthu Maharaj has all the qualities of Krishna. So right, 36.
No, I did not say he has only few marks.
Okay.
Not 36 marks. 36 marks is only present.
No, because
in Lord
you were
Krishna.
explaining. Probably
Right,
I thought
yeah.
that in a wrong
No,
way.
he has few qualities, few special, which resembles a towering personality or a special personality. So those who are very special personality, they have certain, like Srila Prabhupada has very special, what is that? What is this called? He has ear lobe, right? Ear lobe, yeah. He has a long ear lobe, and so certain other qualities which represents that he is a very special personality. So those who are special, they have few, but those who are Lord Himself has all them together, all 36. If some like Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna or Lord Chaitanya, they have all 36. But if somebody is plenary expansion or Shaktavesha Avatar, then they have few, not all.
Sorry, thank you. So another thing I...
Jai Sri Radha Madan Mahan, Srimad Mahaprabhu Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Bhagwan ki.
So another thing I want to ask in between, that like everybody has to suffer, or whoever we do our karma, we have to get the result of our karma. So you said, when you were explaining that there are, like, if the king do something good, that our pious activity, it will affect us. If he does wrong, it will affect us, something like that, right?
No, the other way. If
we do something like
wrong,
that,
yeah.
So why king has to suffer? Because everybody has their own karma, so why we have to get interaction?
No, it said like, the king is the representative of God, Krishna, right? So he needs to make sure that his subjects, because when your child is doing something wrong, is disturbing other people, they will not chastise the child, they will chastise the parent, right? Why you are not controlling your son? Why he is, because sometimes in the class you will say child is shouting, right? So people will stare at the parent instead of the child, that you should actually take him away. So similarly, that representative of the society is king, right? The country. So if he is not taking care of the subjects nicely, then they will do wrong. He has to be very strict for establishing the dharma and to get rid of the atheists and the miscreants. And he should be very compassionate to the people who are doing good to the society. So that's natural. So the bad will go away in course of time and the good will come. So if somebody, like say for an example, in a society, meat eating is prohibited, extremely prohibited. But still one or 2% is eating meat. But it's not getting, caught. It's not a big offense to his part because he is doing his best to execute. So most people are doing good thing. Maybe 1 or 2%, so it's not a big thing. 1, 2 exception is not the thing. But the main point is, like, the king, if he is not good enough to establish the dharma in the society, he needs to take the bad karma of the society also. That's the main point. You want to say anything? Yeah. Anything of Prthu Maharaj's characteristics which is stuck in your mind? Like whatever you have listened.
Actually, the thing that struck was when I was reading this Prthu Maharaj story was about he was so compassionate among his citizens because when there was deficiency of certain ingredients, he actually made sure that they are getting back those ingredients. He chased behind Mother Earth. Mother Earth took the form of a cow, and there was conversation between them, and then she said milk.
Yes.
So that thing struck me a lot.
Yeah, that's very essential part of a king. Like he should be compassionate to the subjects. He should not just think like it will come automatically. If they come to him with a plea or a request, he should listen to them and to his best of ability, he should resolve the issue in no time. Yeah. You want to say anything more? You want to say anything? Whatever is stuck in your mind.
Prabhuji, I have one question. That Vena, how he was becoming king, he got lot of bad qualities.
Yeah, he was born, in the family of King Anga, right? He was his son, only son. So there was no other. Actually, it was mentioned in the verses, right? The courtier and ministers, they actually objected that he should not be the king because he doesn't have the quality. Because Chaturvarna Maya Sishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. According to the gun and karma, he doesn't possess the quality of a Kshatriya. He cannot be a king. But the sages considered, maybe he get changed, or we need a immediate solution, and maybe we'll give him a chance. Let's see, because he descended from a very, very exalted family lineage of Swayambhu Manu, Uttanpad, and Dhruva Maharaj Anga. He was given a chance, but he did not comply with the injunctions of the Shastra. That's why.
It was good class, Prabhuji.
Thank
I
you,
liked it
Mataji.
very much, and Mataji is helping so much.
You want to say anything, Mataji? Whatever you have read? Yeah, just.
I just wanted to know the meaning of demigods.
Demigods means Devata. Devata, yeah. The gods, like, who has some controlling power, but not the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has all controlling power. It's everything. Omnipotent, yeah. So demigods like Indra, Varuna, Agni, they are demigods. But Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Lord Vishnu, they are a special category. And among them also, Lord Vishnu is a special, and on top of Lord Vishnu is Lord Krishna. Like there are different gradation also, yeah, Krishna, yeah. You have there's a Ishvara Paramakrishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Yes, Prabhu.
Sorry if I missed something. Your numbers 36. I missed that initial part. I was late.
Oh, okay. Oh, I did not say that actually, but yeah, there are some qualities actually. Lord Krishna has like it's said, like there are 64 special qualities of Lord Krishna, or the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be divided into 64 categories. So Lord Brahma, who is the highest among the living entities, all the normal living entities in the realm of the real world, he is the highest, and he has 50 qualities in full. 50, not like out of 64, he has 50. That means comes around 77%, 78%. Lord Shiva has 55 qualities in full, 85%. And then Lord Vishnu has 60 qualities in full. These are discussed in Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, written by Srila Rupa Goswami or Rasacharya. Then Lord Krishna has 164 qualities in full, 100%. He has very special qualities which are not even present in Lord Vishnu, like Venu Madhurya, Rupa Madhurya, Lila Madhurya, and Gunu Madhurya, like the attraction to the devotee. So these are the degradation. Or the main point is like in our platform we should consider Lord Vishnu and Lord Krishna same, yeah. But when one gets elevated, he has a very personal relationship with a Lord particular form. Even in Lord Krishna's form, there are degradation. Yeah.
Any idea how many for Narsimha, Lord Narsimha?
Qualities, he has also at least 94%, 60 qualities. Yeah, he is also very special actually. It is said like in Kali Yuga, these three very potent, like in Lord Vishnu's form, like Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, and Lord Narasimha. Because Kali Yuga is full of rascals and demoniac people. So we need protection from them for our devotional life. So Lord Narasimha is protecting us from problems, yeah, that's good, yeah. So King Prthu, yeah, I just want to end here with like the glorification from my personal realization. Actually, King Prthu, in his whole lifetime, like whatever activities are described in Srimad Bhagavatam, he was always surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his devotees, and the Brahmanas. So a king or a Kshatriya to be very successful. Prabhu, you want to share something? Actually, I forgot. Yeah. So he is very successful to execute his duty. He need to get 10 these three forms. Lord Krishna, maybe Lord is not directing always directly, always not instructing directly. So he should take shelter Lord's pure devotees and Brahmanas who are executing the prescribed duties for the whole human society. So he always appreciated them. In each and every chapter, King Prthu is praising the devotees, he's glorifying the Lord, he's serving the Brahmanas everywhere. So I think only that thing is missing in the society, that the kings, the Kshatriyas, the government society, they are not surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not serving the devotee class, they are not, appreciative to the intelligent class of people, the Brahmanas. That's why we are facing so many problems and we are not getting enough benefits. Anyways, I want to take forgiveness to all of you if I have said something not according to your understanding or not according to the Shastra. Because I may say something which I even not noticed. Jai Sri Radha Madan Mohan Siman Mahaprabhu, Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Bhagwan ki Jai. Nitai Gaur. Hare Krishna. So now we will have a Guru Puja ceremony. We will glorify Srila Prabhupada, and there will be an Aratika ceremony, and that will be followed by a Kirtan.